All right, this is the APBC calculus. We're doing midterm review. This is free response 21A, which is a non-calculator free response. So we're considering the family of functions f of x equals 1 divided by the quantity x squared minus 2x plus k, where k is some constant. Find the value of k, so we need to find a k, for k greater than 0 such that the slope of the tangent line at 0, which I'm hoping we all translate into f prime of 0, equals 6. Cool. So essentially what this is telling me is I need to find f prime. I need to plug in 0, right? So plug in x is 0, set f prime of 0 equal to 6, and solve for k. And that's pretty much it. That's what I have to do. So let's do this. You could do this as a quotient rule with the high function being a 1 and the low function being that polynomial, and that's fine. I didn't. I did it as a chain rule. So you could either do it like this, which is fine. I'm not going to do it this way, but you certainly can, where you have a high function and a low function and you do the quotient rule, right? So quotient rule, great. Or you could treat this, because the top is just a coefficient, right? It's just a constant. I could flip this guy up and make him to the negative first and just do it as a chain rule. And that's the way I picked. You can certainly do whichever one you want. So I did f prime equals -1 stuff to the -2 times the derivative of the stuff. And the k differentiates away. And then that means that I wrote this as a -1 times the quantity 2x minus 2 over x squared minus 2x plus k quantity squared. So that's my f prime of x. Done. Did the first thing. After I find f prime of x, I now need to find f prime of 0, right? So f prime of 0 would be a -1 times 0 minus 2. On the bottom, I'm going to get 0 minus 0 plus k whole quantity squared. So I'm pretty sure I get 2 over k squared. But then I was told that that f prime of 0 has to be 6. So now I can just solve for k. So when I solve for k, 2 equals 6k squared. 1/3 is k squared. And we were told up at the top that k has to be strictly greater than 0. So I don't need a plus or minus when I take the square root, right? So normally I would have to write plus or minus this square root. But they told us that k is greater than 0. So k is just a positive square root of 1/3. That answer is fine. You could also square root the top and bottom separately and make that a 1 over root 3, right? You could also choose to rationalize, but that's a weird choice, right? So like I would either do this answer or this answer. There's no good reason to rationalize at this point. Nobody in calc cares if you leave a square root in the bottom, and it's just more work and it's a higher probability that you make a mistake. So that's the deal.